try to make sense out of nonsense. What's shaking? I hope everybody is doing well on this Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. Let me see something there. There we go. All right, yeah, Wednesday. Let's get into first checking to see if you can hear me. 1 2 1 2. Let me get some lights on in here. All right, down there. Okay. Now, can you hear me? Make sure you can do that first. I want to see you typing stuff, and I want to see that you can hear me and the sound is not popping and cracking and snapping and all of that gibberish that goes on, perhaps. Somebody said all good. Well, if it's all good, let's go ahead and get it started, y'all, by me getting loose. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now, if this is your first time joining the show, welcome to the show. Hit that like button. I see yesterday we had some new subscriber, so I always like to welcome new subscribers to the show. I appreciate that. Those that have been around for a while, you know the drill. First things first, got to let you know about Kevin's Corner Store. Yeah, you can visit that. The link is right below. Check out all the products. We got some new stuff, some new little sayings and logos and things you can have printed on whatever you want. And that number, 330-974-4607, is the number that you text if you want to make sure you stay connected with me at all times, just in case the man try to unexist me. And then finally, I got me a new, monthly fundraising link. Yeah, it looks like PayPal finally got off my back and allowed me to reestablish another monthly link. And that link is right below this video. And if you want, you can start helping out the channel right now if you want to. By clicking on that link, it'll go straight to the monthly fundraiser, which I am doing now. Because, of course, you know, the crap that goes on with YouTube. We'll see how long this lasts. Hopefully, they'll get off my back real soon. People were complaining the other day about me still being stuck at 185. Can you believe that? Bunch of gibberish, man. Anyway, with no further ado, we got to get into some stuff, y'all, because we got a topic tonight I got to touch on and expose that just burns me up, man. It burns me up. I'm telling you, it's one of those topics that is almost more dear and near to my heart when it comes down to impeachment than the corruption that comes out of Joe Biden and his crackhead son. Okay. Because, I mean, honestly, you know, his corruption, yeah, it affects, you know, him. It could, of course, you know, compromise our country when it comes down to his ability to make some choices in regards to China and Ukraine, places like that where we're taking money. But when it comes down to this immigration issue, this is stuff that could damage our country forever. And it most likely will. It already has, honestly. And it burns me up. So we got to expose that tonight. But, you know, before we get into all that, we got to also expose just how creepy is. Okay. Creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy. He's our divider and chief, y'all. We can't
This is your president and at his best, if you will.
Look, this is our president right now. Look at this.
My message to unvaccinated Americans is this. What more is there to wait for? What more do you need to see?
Get me sick.
We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin.
Do you want to be the side of Dr. King or George Wallace? Do you want to be the side of John Lewis or Bull Connor? Do you want to be the side of Abraham Lincoln or
He's bringing us together.
This is the moment to decide, to defend our elections, to defend our democracy.
Now, I wonder if people catch this type of tactic coming out of the Democrat Party. It's so obvious that their whole tactic is to divide, to simply come out and straight up demonize everybody based on race, gender, sex, or whatever. It's so clear to us, but yet some people struggle with it. Some people just see themselves in all of this division right here. So apparently somebody on Fox, of course, Jessica, the bubblehead liberal, for whatever reason, thinks Trump is more divisive than Biden. She thinks Trump's more divisive. And somebody has to check her. A black man, y'all.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Well, I think two things are going on. One,
Now, geez, oh man, I didn't know I was extreme. Did y'all? I mean, I didn't know me wanting a secure border was extreme. I didn't know me supporting freedom of speech, the First and Second Amendment. I didn't know that was extreme. I didn't know me saying kids shouldn't have pornography in the schools was extreme. I didn't know saying that kids shouldn't be able to allow to get, some things done to their body permanently underage was extreme. Didn't know. I had no idea that was extreme, y'all. It's crazy. I didn't know not wanting men pretending to beat women to get into sports and beat up and defeat women was extreme. I had no idea. Didn't know me saying, no, I'm not going to walk around tiptoeing around everybody trying to figure out what their gender pronouns are and stuff was extreme. I didn't know that. No idea that stuff was extreme, man. This is blowing my mind. I didn't know not wanting the FBI and the CIA and the DOJ and all of them to be snooping around on the internets, looking at what I'm saying and where I'm going and all of that stuff was extreme. Had no idea. Had no idea wanting our leaders to look out for the country first was extreme. No idea. But hey, guess I'm extreme. So here's another example of just how extreme the real extremist is.
This speaks to how badly the mainstream media has covered him. They have normalized him. They have cleaned up the rhetoric so he sounds in a clip or he reads in print much more coherent than he actually is. What? It's only very recently that the mainstream media has been reporting on his really shocking totalitarian claims.
Can you believe this? Can you believe this radical liberal Marxist conflict theorist talking about just recently they started reporting negatively on Trump. They started off reporting negatively on this guy, and here she is talking about just recently they started really holding him accountable. Boy, I tell you, man, they are just banking on nobody ever watching anything besides their programs and networks to be watching this. Because anybody that ever turned off their program for 1 second would be going, yeah, it sounds like you guys are stuck on stupid. Y'all report on Trump 24/7 negatively, and you're telling me, well, just now we're just starting to really hold him accountable and report on his accurate statement. They've been distorting that, and I can't even get into it because I got too much stuff to cover. But I got a montage of the lies that come out of the fake news. But hey, right now, I'm just focusing on how divisive the left is, especially Creepy Sleepy.
And I think because they have done such a bad job, because they have made an effort to treat the Republican Party like the Democratic Party, this notion that he's not so bad, that he's just kind of a cartoon character has set in. And that's on the mainstream media. That's on the failure to be honest and to side with truth.
Boy, I tell you, I see that snake tongue from here. That snake tongue is like, that's on the mainstream all over the place. Full-blown lies. Look at her. She looked dumb. I tell you, every time I see her, I see the woman from National Lampoon's Vacation. Clark. What are you doing, Clark? Yeah. I see her. But nonetheless, here she is trying to school us on, conservatives and Trump and his rhetoric, and the mainstream media should hold him accountable.
Rather than having this false balance. And I think the second thing, and why it's perhaps important to go to one of these rallies, is to understand why he does have supporters. Wow. These people are part of a fascist cult. Wow.
Now, that's ironic because one of their own congressmen who's running for president, but he's not allowed really to run for president because the Democrats are fascists and they don't want any competition with Joe, so they're not giving him any airtime. But he ended up, I think his name is Dean or something like that. Dean, I don't know. I want to say Dean Martin, but I know that's not. But nonetheless, he goes to a Trump rally and he realizes these people aren't white nationalists, racist, xenophobe, homophobes at all. He said now, he recognizes his party is delusional, just like this lady, but she's not delusional. She's just a liar. That's all she is.
And let's be honest, there are a lot of them, but a lot of them doesn't mean that they're behaving logically or rationally. To the contrary, we've seen in other fascist regimes that millions of people, sometimes even a majority of the country, becomes intoxicated with an authoritarian figure.
Intoxicated. Yep. So now we're reduced to just being brainless, mindless, Democrat voters? Yeah, because that's what you're describing. That's what you're describing. But nonetheless, she said we're intoxicated with an extreme leader, a fascist, and a dictator. We like it. We like being controlled by who? Trump, who supports every bit of freedom provided to us as American citizens. Every bit of it. They can't tell me one part of freedom that Trump has opposed, restricted, went after. They make up this bootleg lie about he's rolling back women's health, productive, reproductive rights and stuff like that. You could assign that to almost any Republican, because most Republican candidates are pretty conservative when it comes down to abortion. So if that's the case, no Republican will ever meet that bar when it comes down to Democrats, because their motto is abortion for everybody. Abortion for every year. They're going to ride in on abortion because that's one of the positions that they take to galvanize votes. So even if a Republican comes along and they say something like, well, you know what, I'm not big on abortion. Let's go ahead and let that one slide. I'm cool with that. They'll still be like, oh, he's going after women's rights. Is he? Is he going after? Well, we got to say he's going after women's rights. So they're going to always use that. But we know the real deal when it comes down to that. Other than that, what can they say? What other rights have Trump ever said he's going to roll back or even potentially roll back? Nothing. Everything he supports is actually allowing us to, enjoy our freedoms, but not the Democrats. I could go through several different categories where the Democrats are like, we don't like that. We don't want y'all to have autonomy over your body. We don't want y'all to be able to have a closed border, even though we're responsible for keeping the border closed. We don't want you to have rights over your kids' decision-making when it comes down to their body. We don't want you to be able to get on the internet and say what you want to say, because we'll just label that as hate speech if it hurts our cause or our agenda. Yeah, we don't want that. Yeah, we don't want you really to have control over your own money, your own lifestyle when it comes down to products that you have. Cars, the way you have your house set up. Are you using gas? Are you using gas? Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, you're going to have to remodel that. They're constantly attacking and threatening and trying to restrict our freedoms and liberties. But yet they're sweeping down. This man's the dictator. They're always snooping around our guns, constantly wanting a piece of those. But yet Trump's the dictator.
And these people are utterly irrational. If you speak to some of them, they will spit back these bizarro conspiracy theories
that all turn out to be true. So, old lady, old crazy lady, all of the stuff you're talking about, you don't want to get into details because everything that Trump has said and all the stuff we've been observing has been true. So she don't want to get into details. She just want to be very vague.
They actually believe in all of the mumbo jumbo that he tells them. So I think it would be a wake-up call about what these people are about. And no, we're not going to convince people who are part of the cult to switch. As you say, they're impervious to any kind of data, any kind of information.
No, we're impervious to your propaganda and your lies and your manipulation. That's what we're impervious to, and you don't like it. So that's what she's whining about. They're impervious to all of our gaslighting and our efforts to deceive them and all of that stuff. See? So, yeah, somebody said cult 45 and 47. You right about that? If you got to be in a cult, you might as well be in the right cult. Don't end up in a Democrat cult, okay? Your cult got to be rooted in truth. Their cults were rooted in lies and deception.
But what you have to do if you care about democracy is mobilize the people who already know what he's a danger and reaffirm and re-educate the people who are perhaps kind of flirting in the middle. They're soft Republicans, they're never Republicans, about the danger of going back to Trump. Yeah. And I think that's the job between now and November. That's the challenge for the Biden administration.
That are voting for Nikki Haley, some of them have voted for Ron DeSantis, who maybe is more in his lane. But the Nikki Haley voter, are they going to try to get them, do you think?
Well, I'm certainly not an advisor to the Trump campaign, but it is, we talk in the millions of votes when we're talking about the general election, but it actually comes down to the tens of thousands, right? The margins in Georgia, in Arizona, in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, it's minute. Right. It can be the difference between whether you came out and you criticized your opponent's dress, which some could interpret as demeaning a woman, again, which is obviously something that he suffers from, or just making...
Oh, God. So now she's trying to say that, the decision between winning and losing could come down to Trump's criticism of people's dress, stuff like that. little things. Jessica just can't get right, man. She can't get right. I think it's her mission to be dumb. And, you know, when I've been watching her on the show on and off for years, she seems like, outside of this, she seems like a nice person. Seemed like, you know, she's just innocently a bubblehead. She seemed like that pure, I like people, want to see people, you know, do well. I'm a legit bubblehead. I'm not an evil, malicious bubblehead. I'm a pure 100% bubblehead. And I have bought into the popping. She's bought into the popping. So here she is believing that Trump's rhetoric and his tone and some of the statements he makes is so divisive that it could make, you know, a big determination whether he win or not, because some women might listen to him and say he criticized one woman's dress. He said something about creepy, sleepy, and him not being able to get off the stage. He criticized this particular person. So therefore, that might cause a whole bunch of people, or at least enough people, to say that was so offensive to me, even though he wasn't talking about me. But the fact that he criticized this woman for being a nasty woman, because he criticized this person for being stupid or saying something dumb, that's going to make me abandon voting for him who supports everything I believe in. That's what she's suggesting. Trying to justify the small margins here and there and all of that stuff. And she's saying it's all because of Trump's inability to control what he says.
A little offhanded comment that someone says, you know what, I'm going to sit home, or actually, I want 4 more years of Joe Biden. So yes, it would be smart, as it always.
So you telling me, now it could be, there's women out there. I'm talking about conservative stuff, or people leaning conservative. You're telling me if you have observed Joe Biden for 4 years and the damage he's done and the garbage he's, you know, provided for us, you're telling me Trump mentioning something about nasty Pelosi being nasty is enough to make you go, well, I can't tolerate a president that says things like that. I'll go ahead and take Joe Biden for 4 more years. There's no way that I can tolerate a president who mentions that, you know, the blood of the country is being destroyed by illegal immigration. I can't do that. I can't do. So I'll take 4 more years of open borders. That's what I'll do. So I can sleep good at night next to all of the illegal immigrants in my neighborhood. At least my conscience will be clear as I look out my window and they're out there having a great fiesta right in front of my house. But I'll feel better about my choices. You thinking that's going to sway the vote, Jessica?
Always was when he was president, if he would listen to Kayleigh about this. But he has an uncontrollable narcissism and rage about him when he feels insulted. And it's appealing to...
Now, this is crazy, man. She has no idea. We just saw Joe Biden. You know what? Ultra mega. No. You listen. Hey, fat, listen to me. All of this stuff. No, what you need to be doing is looking into Trump and his atrocities, his kids, and that guy, the angry old man. Are you kidding me? But she says, you know what? It's Trump and his impulses and his narcissism and stuff.
The base is that we love it. He's a counterpuncher.
We do.
But you've now lost a general election. You've presided over the loss of the Republican Senate, the Republican.
See, when they start bringing this up, trying to, you know, assign this to Trump. You lost the general election, you lost the House, you lost the Senate. I'm going, that wasn't Trump. That was the Republicans. That was the rhinos. They blew it. Trump handed them support on a silver platter. He brings to the Republican Party all of the voters. All of the voters. That's why they can't really get rid of him. That's why they didn't vote to impeach him, because he has the support of all of the voters. I guarantee you Mitch McConnell was chomping at the bits to impeach him. I guarantee you Lindsey Graham and all of them was like, man, I bet you now they're sitting back on, man, we should have just went ahead and impeached him. Now he's still a problem. We thought he'd just go away, but he hasn't. So now Payne is about to come in. Yeah, somebody saw this. Charles Payne is going to have to come in and check our little gentle woodland bubblehead right here, because she thinks Trump is more divisive than anybody. He's divisive and he's narcissistic and stuff like that.
Republican House, the abortion, it's been on the ballot 7 times. Democrats have swept it in all of that, and he has not moderated at all. And frankly,
they still didn't sweep it because of abortion. Not buying it. They swept it because of people on our team being counterproductive and doing everything they can to make sure that real Republicans don't win. They'd rather let Democrats win or rhinos win than Trump supporting, MAGA supporting Republicans. They didn't dedicate time, money, effort. They didn't get behind them. None of that stuff. They did everything they could to sabotage them from winning. And yet here she is talking about something about abortion and stuff. No, abortion doesn't impact the masses, especially when it comes down to conservative voters. You can't tell me that there are that many folks out there that either plan on getting an abortion, want an abortion, or even if you had an abortion, that doesn't make you stupid. It doesn't make you say, well, unless you love it, unless you're rejoicing and say, man, I'm glad I had. But most people who have an abortion go, I had an abortion. But that don't mean I want to ruin my economic future, compromise my safety, compromise my freedoms by voting for Democrats. That doesn't mean that. So something else went on. It wasn't just abortion that turned the tides.
I don't think it's in him for him to be able to do it for more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, and I don't think it's narcissism. I think if it's you've lived in New York long enough, it's maybe a New York thing. Someone punches you, you punch him back hard.
Oh, I came to bring the pain hardcore to the brain. He's bringing the pain. Oh, Charles Payne, baby. No OJ, no straw. When you give it to me, yeah, give it to me raw. I've learned when you drink absolute straight, it burns enough to give your chest hairs a perm. Yeah, give it to him, Payne.
Harder. That's why I grew up in Harlem.
Now the country's at stake, right?
He won. He became president of the United States with that same personality. I don't think that, listen, I think it's worse with Biden calling MAGA. Biden's anger and vitriol and hatred for MAGA is far more worse than President Trump's individual battles with someone who crosses him.
Oh, get out of there, Jessica. He's killing you. He's killing you, kid. So that's what my man Payne is bringing. He's saying that, see, Trump, he focused on individuals. Biden, like all Democrats, focus on group. That's what identity politics is about. That's what conflict theory is about. It is about creating and demonizing a large group of people or a group of people that you have a difference with. You just lump them all together, throw a label on them, assign all these different attributes and different motives and things like that, which they themselves have not come out and confessed. To this day, I still am looking for all of us on the right that labeled ourselves as far right or extremists. These are labels that they throw on us. How do you think we became known as Ultra MAGA? Joe Biden nicknamed us that and we just went with it. That's right. Ultra MAGA. Thank you. See, they're so dumb. They think they're insulting us and all they do is encourage us, baby. That's all they do is they encourage us, man. When they came out and called us deplorables, what did we do? Make shirts. I'm a deplorable. Had a good time with it. But so Joe Biden demonizes half the country. Hillary Clinton demonizes half the country. Trump will say things about individuals. You are a nasty person. You are a dummy. You are a liar. And it's usually because that person attacked Trump. But Jessica can't seem to comprehend that.
That is something that is really detrimental to this country, that the president of the United States despises half of the United States. President Biden, I said earlier today, I just wrote about a week ago.
Watch this
coming up, so I Googled Biden hates MAGA. It's nothing but articles after articles after articles. He has expressed hatred for half of the country. It doesn't matter. Look at him. Because the bottom line is he says it. He has vitriol for them. And so does MSNBC and so does CNN.
And we just saw it. So does MSNBC, so does CNN. We've heard them up here talk about Christians and these are white Christians and then there's these MAGA folks and these Trump supporters. They love dictators. They love this. They're all racist. They all support. They all want their country to remain white. They're all of this crap. We just heard that lady a second ago, the old lady from National Lampoons. We heard her up there talking about all of us. We're misinformed, ignorant, brainwashed, seduced, you name it. So Charles Payne is bringing the pain and Jessica's trying to chime in and fight back about that. But who's writing the articles? It doesn't matter. That's why. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what they're doing. You don't see Joe Biden doing this? So Forget the articles it's written. Just look at his transcripts if you can read those. The branch and isolate fund. Woman. We don't know what he's saying.
And so does the New York Times. They have vitriol for half of the nation. They don't look at them like fellow Americans, and it's unfortunate.
In the midst of getting beat up, you see her try to respond. Talking about some. All she could do was open her mouth, but nothing came out. Oh, that's that moment where you realize, oh, I'm in trouble. I once saw one of the worst fights, or should I say, depends on your perspective, one of the best fights could be one. From the girl who's getting beat up, it was one of the worst. But for everybody watching, they were like, this is one of the best fights I've ever seen. Yeah, the girl who talked all the trash, the one that talked the trash, when the action started, she realized she was in trouble. Man, she took off that jewelry, gave her last ring. She had about 50 rings on and earrings and chains and stuff. That's back when everybody wanted to be like Mr. T. All these golds and stuff. Man, took off that last ring, handed it to her girl. And this chick was like, immediately went to work on her. She didn't get tired. All you heard was, oh, you gonna, that's okay. I see how it's almost like the brain didn't even register. Like, wait a minute, hold on, how many, we under attack? This is, okay, come on, everybody, let's gather together. By the time she realized what was happening, she already had taken about at least 10 or 15 blows and gonna try to respond with a lazy overhand haymaker. And it got caught in midair and spun her around in a full Nelson. And I'll never forget the look in her eyes. Once the girl spun around to look at me and my boy Rob. And she had them eyes like, don't let this happen to me. Don't let this happen. We going, it's out of our hands. You talked yourself into this one. We're just here to be judges. That's it. She had that look like, I got myself in the biggest mess ever. And I don't know how to get out of it. That's Jessica. I didn't expect Charles Payne to come out like this on me. Now all I can do is go. And here she gonna try it again. Watch it.
They try to paint them as racist. That all the things that they do to their fellow Americans who simply want a safe home, a safe community, for their children to have prosperity. They want the same thing. But they demean them all the time. That's why I think Phillips was so intriguing, because he went to a rally to find out for himself. And guess what?
Look,
golly.
You see that one again? Yeah, all you get is that stupid looking grin on your face. That's all you get. She tried to launch a counter again. Like, okay, I'm gonna go with my training. Let me see, what was I taught again? Throw the lazy jab, the right jab, jab, punch. I learned this in my kickboxing class. Okay, jab, punch, jab. And it's not working. Now she's left with a dumb expression on her face.
There's some pretty cool people. They're just like that.
But you know who else got a dumb expression on her face? This guy who's suffering from the Lake effect. Remember yesterday, y'all? We talked about Carrie Lake. Yeah. Oh, boy. I'm still laughing at Jessica and that. Okay, so the Lake effect done kicked in, y'all. Yeah, I said I want to see some action from that video, that audio came out with that guy trying to bribe Carrie Lake. So yeah, he's a victim now, guys. He's like, oh, look, I was taken out of context. That was like 2 years ago. However, I'm still going to step down because she's threatening to come out with more stuff. So I'm going to tap out. Let's see.
Head of the Arizona GOP is stepping down after he could be heard in a leaked recording offering Carrie Lake money to stay out of this year's Senate race. In a statement, Chairman Jeff Dewitt said the recording was selectively edited. He claims he was offering candid advice to a friend and didn't intend to bribe her. Now, his departure comes ahead of November's general election, where control of the White House and U.S. Senate is up for grabs.
Wow. Well, that's a nice little update. Yeah. Now, you think if this guy wasn't really trying to bribe her, or if he didn't fear her coming out with some even more damning evidence, you think he would have just stepped down? No. Yeah, he'd have stood his ground. See, you tap out real quick when you know, oh, crap. Yeah. See, I hope Fannie Willis gets that hint too. When people are saying, look, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and do the right thing. Now, don't make me expose more of you. And you all right, wait, what you got? You don't want to gamble like that. You don't want to be sitting back going, okay, I'm hoping they ain't got some real stuff on me. Because if you clean, you're like, hey, whatever you got, I can come back because I know I'm good. But yet, this guy knew he was dirty, so he's just like, I'm done. I don't want no more trouble. No more trouble. Good. Go away somewhere, pal. So we got rid of one, and we'll see if we get rid of the other one. And we're not all the way rid of him because he didn't step down. I don't know what his position is. I guess he's a congressman or a senator or something. I don't know what he is. But I hope he gets beat if anybody's challenging him, or just resign, something. We don't need people like that in our party at all. In fact, we want to get rid of all of them. We want to revamp the Republican Party and turn it back over into the hands of the people. The people, as Payne says. But now let's get to this fiesta and fight at the same time down at that border. Oh, they having a fiesta down there and they having a fight at the border because it looks like Abbott is fighting back, man. Abbott ain't having it. Abbott's like, not having it. Y'all are trying to get rid of our slinkies, and we ain't let y'all get rid of our slinkies. So let's see what's going on with that guy.
Two border congressmen from Texas are among 14 Democrats who supported a House resolution this week denouncing what they call President Biden's lax border security. Lax border security.
Very lax.
U.S. Representatives Vicente Gonzalez of McAllen and Henry Cuellar of Laredo on Wednesday voted in favor of the resolution, which says,
I mean, look at this slime ball.
There is a public
Now he done went out and got another dog. Had to get rid of Major. Now they got a collie in the background, a little more friendly dog. They got a lassie running around, I see. Got rid of the one that was biting everybody in the White House. But nonetheless, his dirty, nasty butt comes walking out. And every time I see Joe, I want to throw up a little bit in my mouth, honestly. I mean, this dude is just rotten to the core. 100% from the rooter to the tutor, man. Unbelievable. But he allows our border to get destroyed like this. Destroyed. You saw those people in that video right there. I mean, a sea of people just sitting around in the sand, hot, waiting on them, to process them. And here he comes out.
Safety crisis. It urges President Biden to end his administration's open borders policies. The measure passed the GOP-led House by 225 to 187 votes. All Republicans voted for it. Cuellar tells BorderReport.com that he is frustrated with lenient parole criteria for asylum seekers.
I don't like exactly the language that's there, but I think the Biden administration can certainly do a lot more at securing the border. It's very simple. It's what I've been saying for many years. Detain and deport the people that don't qualify.
All right. Which is all of them. I hate when Democrats try to still, straddle that fence, man. You see what this is doing to your city and your state. Now you see it and you're going, okay, I don't like it, but I can't really kick that hard against the party. What are you talking about? Detain and deport for those that don't qualify. How about discouraging those that's coming? Because guess what? You'll find that it will probably dry up to zero if they know that they get to that border and they have the nerve to say, I'm here for asylum. And you say, why? And they go, well, because of climate change. Okay, that's not on the list. Okay, well then how about gang violence? That's not on the list either. What's on the list? Well, you can either be qualifying for let's see, religious persecution. No, not religious persecution. Okay, good. All right. Well, then what about political persecution? What's that? No, not political persecution. Okay. Well, then that's pretty much it. Okay. Wait. The first one. Okay. So you're saying you're being persecuted for your religion? See. Okay. Cool. How did you get here? I walked from Honduras. Okay. Did you stop at Mexico? No, I walked right through Mexico. Okay, well then you need to go back to Mexico and apply for asylum there. Watch what happens. Those little things like that would shut it down. People would be going, now I am reduced to one strategy only. Sneaking across the border. However, all of those Border Patrol agents that used to be tied up in that video you just saw with all of those people sitting out there waiting to get processed will now be watching to make sure none of those people sneak across. They'll go back to doing their original job. Problem solved. And I'm not a Border Patrol agent. I'm not mucus and wouldn't want to be. Nobody wants to be mucus. Nobody. But my point that I'm trying to make is mucus knows that this would solve the problem, and he's not doing it on purpose.
The border battle down in Texas intensifies with Democrats now calling on the president, Joe Biden, to federalize the state National Guard.
Oh, we got us a civil war brewing, y'all. So Texas decided we're not gonna take it. Yeah. We're not gonna take it. See, when you sing like that, you gotta come out of right here. Not from the stomach. We're not gonna take it. So they're not gonna take it. And now it's a standoff, y'all. And I like it. I'm liking it. Let's see.
But Governor Greg Abbott is not backing down, saying Texas has the right to defend itself against the migrant invasion.
And they're using the Constitution as a weapon. Lucas Tomlinson is live in Washington with the details. All right, Lucas, unwind this.
All right, well, good morning, my friends. The Texas border standoff continues. Both Governor Greg Abbott and the White House are refusing to back down. Now GOP reinforcements are pouring in. Abbott receiving the support of many of his fellow Republican governors, such as Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, also the governors from Oklahoma, Montana, Georgia, and Utah.
Woo-wee! So we got other governors joining? I want to see who's going. Yeah, I want to see. I'm your Huckleberry. That's what Governor Abbott has done. Fight's not with you, Abbott. Oh, I beg to differ. We started a game and we must finish it. Yeah, well, fight's not with you. Oh, I was just joshing. I wasn't. Oh man. So now here we go. A standoff, man. And other governors are joining. I want to see what happens. I want to see this play out. And see, this is what needs to happen. When other governors get the courage to say, I'm going to support that. Now what you do is you're going to force Biden and them to say, well, either we're going to invade Texas or we're going to let Texas go ahead and do what they're supposed to do and secure their border. But not only that, if we get too frisky with Texas, we got DeSantis, we got Virginia, we got South Dakota, we got Oklahoma. I don't know why Ohio's not in there. We need Ohio in there. Montana, Georgia, and we got Utah. We need Arizona, but that's not going to happen because that chick's raggedy. But we need every single conservative state to say, we'll do the same thing. If these liberal states and cities can become sanctuary cities and states to harbor illegal immigrants, then hey, here it is. We're a sanctuary city or a state that will stop illegal immigrants. How about that?
On the left, want President Biden to do more. Texas Congressman Joaquin Castro says Biden needs to take control of the Texas National Guard right now. Other Democrats rushing his defense are Congressman Greg Casar and former Congressman and former gubernatorial candidate in Texas, Beto O'Rourke.
Beto O'Rourke? You know what? Heck yeah, I'll take their AR-15s. No, he won't. Big softcore Beto O'Rourke. So guys, it appears that there is a standoff. But guys, you know what was crazy? Hold on for a second. There we go. What's crazy is back in the day, the Democrats felt the same way. Listen to all of these fascist xenophobes right here.
The fence is now basically complete. Maybe they'll need a moat. Maybe they want alligators in the moat.
Secure our borders with technology, personnel, physical barriers if necessary in some places.
I voted for a fence. I voted unlike most Democrats. Some of you won't like it. I voted for 700 miles.
700 miles.
Let me tell you something, folks. People are driving across that border with tons, hear me, tons of everything from byproducts,
methamphetamines to cocaine and heroin. Wow, don't they sound like us? At what point did they lose their minds? That's my question. At what point did the Democrat Party lose their minds? I guess when globalists start tempting them with money. I guess when their policies start sucking so much that American voters say we don't want to vote for you guys anymore. And they, oh, we gotta replace them. Got to bring some other folks in. See, so they lost their minds along the way.
Cocaine to heroin. It's all coming up through corrupt Mexico.
Homeland Security Department has asked for access to this port that is now currently in dispute.
Come on, Blackgate. Clean it up. Yep. I'm sure Blackgate Drop is going to handle it, y'all. Come on out there with that Fraggle Rock hairdo. With that sideshow bob mop on top of your head.
It doesn't seem like they've gotten it. They now are allowed to cut down razor wire.
On top of mine.
Some Democrats are saying the president needs to federalize the Texas National Guard.
So look,
something that could happen.
I mean, look, I'll say this. The Border Patrol agents are now, as you said, allowed to cut through the wire because of what the Supreme Court has laid out.
Gizmo was laying on Blackgate Drop's mop. Yeah, look at that little bit of Gizmo in there. Little gray. All right, so here we go.
It's unfortunate that we had to go there. It's unfortunate that there is a governor in Texas, Governor Abbott, who has politicized this issue of what's happening on the border. And it's not making people's lives safer. It's actually making it harder for law enforcement at the
How, Blackgate? That's what I want to know. Up here talking about it's not unfortunate we had to go there. No, y'all wanted to go there. Because you didn't have to. Oh, God, I mentioned his name. Oh, it's like saying Beetlejuice. Yeah. Come here. Yeah, I accidentally said your name. I invoked your name. Yep. I invoked Gizmo's name. He's like, I gotta go out and speak now. Somebody invoked my name. Yeah, Gizmo. I say we send him down into the border. Dang on it. I say we send him down there to guard that border. Oh, look at the cute dog. Snatch him up with the leg. Set him up. Make him stand right there. I'll be like, they're easy. Just stay right there, Gizmo. Got one. Snatch him up. Send him right back. But anyway, here's Blackgate Drop over here trying to tell everybody that now, it's safer without the slinkies and stuff like that.
The border to do their job. And so we have been very clear. We want to make sure we get something done at the border. That's why we've been having these conversations with Senate Republicans and Democrats for the past several weeks to come up with a bipartisan agreement to deal with the border.
See, right back to that. See, all right, so now you're not explaining how removing the barbed wire or the wires and stuff are making anybody safer. You're riding in on this garbage narrative that Border Patrol needs that wire removed so they can do their job of what? Do their job of what? My question is that. They're not doing their job. They're not stopping anybody. Yeah, in fact, these people, honestly, I don't even know why they're still coming across where the barbed wire is at. They can now just come straight in through the ports of entry because of Mayorkas and his choices.
And look, the governor is not interested in that. Governor Abbott is not interested in that. He wants to politicize an issue, and he's not helping community.
See, and this is what makes me mad. So degrading. Do you really think that's what he's trying to do? You're acting as if we can't see the actual problem he's trying to solve. But you're trying to say it's just a politicized thing. He wouldn't even. You think he want to spend his time trying to stop people from running across the border? What is the political benefit to him for that? If it wasn't a problem, he wouldn't be dedicating all of these resources to stop it. But he wants to politicize this. He just wants to, he's not interested in it. And I'm going, are you that dense? Is that mop on top of your head that thick till you can't see that? There's nothing about this that is politicized. You guys are politicizing the whole thing and have been doing it since Trump got in. Trump wants to stay. He's a xenophobe. He hates immigrants. And you know what? And these people are coming for a better life. And all of that nonsense that we hear coming out of the left. And then they're talking about they need to pick our fruits and pick my nose and pick my toes and get the crud between those. And then I want y'all to go out with the hose and go to work and spray out my swimming pools and make sure you pick the fruits. And this coming from Democrats, man. When these fools talking about the American dream is to come here and pick cotton, pick fruit, or to simply live out in the middle of a city in tents and freezing, shipped all around the country. I'm sorry. You know this topic ruffles my feathers.
He actually isn't. And he's actually putting Border Patrol agents in harm's way by doing what he's doing. I'm not going to...
Putting them in harm's way by doing what he's doing. I think if the Border Patrol agents were honest, they would be like, quiet as kept, man. I like what he's doing, man. Keep the National Guard in here. We need that mess. None of them agree with Mayorkas and his handling. None of them agree with Biden and their handling. Granted, they might be doing their job, but I guarantee you they're going, this is not really our job right here. We're counterproductive right about now.
I'm not going to speak to any actions that the president might take, may not take, but we've been very clear on this.
I would like to spend my closing statement reviewing why we've held impeachment proceedings against Secretary Mayorkas. Since my Democrat colleagues still don't seem to get it. Secretary Mayorkas has willfully and systematically refused to follow immigration laws written by Congress.
Right.
Indeed, he has unilaterally created policies that violate the statutory provisions of the immigration laws related to enforcement. In fact, most courts that have actually heard relevant arguments and decided on the merits agree. The problem is, when the arguments on enforcement went to the Supreme Court in the United States versus Texas, the court refused to decide the matter. The court said it was not subject to judicial review, and they pointed Congress to remedy via impeachment. So
let's remedy that thing, man. Let's go ahead and remedy that thing. So you telling me that when it went to the Supreme Court, we had some soft-core Supreme Court justices that said, well, it's not our problem to solve it. Let Congress handle it. So now it gets kicked back, and Texas like, well, how about we handle it? How about we handle it? Since Congress can't seem to get it together. But this guy right here, he's saying, well, you know what? Here's a solution. Get rid of Mayorkas.
Court said if the states can't get relief from the courts, they can get relief from Congress, who can impeach the offending official. We now have to decide, does the legislation enacted by the people's duly elected representatives mean anything? Or can the secretary just do whatever he wants in direct contradiction to the mandatory language in federal law with impunity? I argue that he cannot continue to not follow the law without consequences. This isn't a policy difference. This is a matter of following the laws written by Congress, and thus a matter of constitutional significance. If an unworthy man be continued in office by an unworthy president, the House of Representatives can at any time impeach him.
And yes, I do see that. People say, talk. I want to see some action. Take time for some action. That's what I want to see. Take time for some action. Let's get ready to rumble. I want to see some action, man. Because right about now, I'm ready to go down to Texas. Late at night, the stars are bright. Deep in the heart of Texas. Like Pee-wee Herman said, late at night, the stars are bright. Deep in the heart of Texas. I'm ready to saddle up, my friend. Thank you. All right, let's continue.
And the Senate can remove him whether the president chooses or not. The president has chosen to continue to keep an unworthy man in office. And it is now the duty of the House of Representatives to impeach Secretary Mayorkas and the Senate to remove him from office.
And therein lies the problem. Because even if the House of Representatives impeach Mayorkas, we got us a weak, feckless Senate that probably will be like, we can't do nothing. You think those folks over there is going to impeach? No, absolutely. You know what? It's so sad. I almost don't even know who's the Senate speaker. Is it Hakeem Jeffries or somebody? That guy? I don't know. I mean, no, he's over there. He's in the House. So who's the Senate? I don't even know. Yeah, I got to give it some thought. But anyway, I doubt it if it gets done.
The minority witness said we could pass laws to address these issues. But to what end? The secretary has already shown he will not follow the laws passed by Congress.
Chuck Schumer. Yeah, that bum. Good grief. Mr. Burns. So yeah, right. To what end? You know, I mean, this guy, the Democrats talk about we need more funds, we need more resources and this and that, and Congress needs to pass new laws to address it. And he's like, to what end? Mayorkas has already shown us he won't follow the law. And this is what kills me. When they get out there and they talk about, Well, Congress needs to act. And I think to myself, wait a minute. Why do they need to act if there's already laws on the books that would solve this issue? If there is a plethora of common sense resources that will stop this, the very, plan that I just laid out about 20 minutes ago would end this.
Secretary Mayorkas has refused to comply with court orders regarding those very laws in good faith. Secretary Mayorkas has, on numerous occasions, lied or misled the United States Congress and the American people regarding the existence and scale of the border crisis that he created.
Yes, we are taking it to the cartel, and that we do have operational control at the border, and the border is secure. That we are only breaking records because of this is a normal migration that takes place every year. Only in my case, we are breaking records by the millions and quadrillions and billions, according to Joe Biden numbers.
See, so that guy who comes out and lies to us every time. So, yeah, he needs to go.
Secretary Mayorkas told the House Judiciary Committee on April 2022 that he had operational control of the southern border. According to the definition laid out by the Secure Fence Act. And of course, Secretary Mayorkas' own former Border Patrol chief testified before this committee in March of last year that according to the statute, DHS does not have operational control.
They don't?
Secretary Mayorkas' pure dishonesty was on full display.
Well, let's see what that looks like. Oh, well, look at this. And the Border Patrol's right here, guys. Yeah, jazz hands. Look at that. Operational control as the cartel coyotes pull up in trucks right in front. Look how low that truck is. They got themselves a low rider. Oh, I'm riding dirty. I'm riding dirty. They really ride dirty. Do you understand how many folks got to be in that truck? Now, imagine if you are sitting here as a Border Patrol agent, and you're watching this. You're watching this. You're sitting there going, Mucus won't let me do nothing. So look at this, guys. This is Border Patrol. This is us having control of our borders. Yeah. Hard snaps. Jazz snaps. Yeah. Yeah. All of them coming. It's about 16 people getting out of that. I wonder if Mucus sees this. We're having a party at the border. Fiesta. Wepa. And see, I don't want people to think that I don't like Latinos. I love Latinos. Love them. Grew up amongst them. We have fiestas all the time. Love them to death. I don't like illegal immigrants coming across our border. Because we're about to see, it's not just Latinos that's going to be coming across this border as Border Patrol is right there. Yeah, watch this. Yeah. Give me my cowboy. Look at that. Oh, snap, hit it, come. Whip out. Having a good time. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Fiesta at the border. Oh, they ain't done yet. Getting caught on those. Look at that. Some of them go get that. That dude's not from South America. He looks Arab. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What is that going on with that guy's hair? Look, snagged on the slinkies. Hola. This is crazy. This is crazy. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. They're getting snagged as they come across. Because see, notice what's stopping them right there. What is that they got to walk around? See, what is that? Oh, that's that wall that Trump was building, right? Then it just randomly stops for some reason. And then they got a couple trees maybe and some broken barbed wire right there. And now notice none of them are going through that fence, that wall right there. They're not going through that. They're just simply going around it. As these people get dropped off in SUVs. That's just the first load. Look at that. Waving at us and everything when they come through. Wow. Suitcases and all. They're all coming for climate change and religious persecution. Oh, wave, but don't want nobody to see your face. Like that guy came across like, all right, here you go. Don't look at me. I'm violating your laws. But hey, what's happening? Unreal. Yeah. Oh, easy. We don't want you getting snagged. We don't want you getting impeded when you're coming across breaking our laws, okay? Easy. We want everything to be nice and smooth. Somebody go get some pliers so we can cut down the rest of this barbed wire right here. We don't want them getting snagged. They could get a blister or a splinter or something, or could get infected. We don't want that. We don't want that. It looks like that line never stops. You know why it's not stopping? It's because right after that first SUV pulled up, about 4 or 5 others came right behind it. And what is Border Patrol doing? Nothing. Jamming to the music. Yeah. Cowbell. Somebody go get the cowbell. What I need is more cowbell. You're gonna want that cowbell. I got a fever, and the only cure is more cowbell. There you go. So that's
claiming.
Y'all see them having a fiesta down at our border? Whippa! As they all come across unimpeded. Yeah. Hurts to watch. And I'm sure Border Patrol has to sit back and watch them go right by. Watching the illegals go by.
This impeachment hearing is against the Constitution and against the separation of powers. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. President Biden and Secretary Mayorkas are the ones who have trampled on the Constitution and the separation of powers by ignoring a co-equal branch of government.
Yeah.
Congress writes the laws and the executive branch executes those laws. But that is exactly, absolutely not what Secretary Mayorkas has been doing when it comes to our country's immigration laws. In fact, he's been spitting on those laws and thus the Constitution. Impeachment is our final remedy. We're left with no other choice. This is also not a resource issue. Democrats are wrong when they claim that the reason this border crisis is happening is because there aren't enough resources at the border. And that Republicans have refused to fund the Border Patrol. First of all, House Republicans have voted substantial increases in funding for CBP above the president's requested amount. It won't matter how many resources we have at the border if the policies don't change and follow the laws written by Congress.
Bingo! Because all of the policies that Trump had that was stopping this mess, Biden came in, had mucus removal. Isn't that interesting? Then the stuff that was on the books that would have easily allowed them to enforce them and stop this mess, they just blew all past that stuff. They leave Texas with no other choice. Now, what is this about? Peter Navarro got 5 months in jail for what? That's interesting. I'm sure it's probably because they got him on some insurrection charges or something stupid. Maybe showed up on the property at the Capitol and stuff like that. Who knows?
President Biden's supplemental package would do nothing to secure the border between ports of entry, and it would do nothing to stop the flow of migrants to our border.
Failing to appear. Appear for what? They gave him 5 months. So wait, where's Hunter Biden's 5 months?
Every cent of Biden's supplemental package would go directly toward funding mass catch and release policies. That is a non-starter. That's what's created the crisis in the first place. This is clearly not an issue of funding. DHS had less funding under the Trump administration for border security, yet our border was far more secure.
Now, isn't that crazy? With less resources, we were able to secure the border under Trump. But now all of a sudden, the Democrats want more resources. That's the problem. We don't have enough money. Well, let this man sum up what you really want with that money.
Funding Biden's supplemental package won't fix the crisis at the border.
It won't? Why not?
It will fund it.
Oh, snap. That's why. See, they want money not to fix it, but to fund it. We need more money so we can process more illegal immigrants and make sure they have more beds and they have more ability to travel and stuff like that. And nobody's giving money for that garbage. In these liberal cities who now are being invaded, they don't have the money for that garbage, which we're about to see in a second, y'all. Here we go.
He has made a point, I can't recall if it was a member or the minority witness, that if you remove the secretary, there'll be no change because they'll just put another guy in there like,
that's what I was
well, I have a duty to the people of Tennessee and the people of America. That if we have a lawless cabinet secretary who refuses to obey the laws written by Congress
right.
and who refuses court orders to cease and desist, totally disrespecting the two other equal branches of government in our Constitution, I have a duty under the Constitution to remove him. And it doesn't matter if the devil I don't know is worse than the devil I do. My duty is to remove him, and I will do my duty.
Darn right. Get rid of his butt. Not only that, though, if they actually do it, it will send a message to anybody else who's coming in. You know what? Soon as you come in, if you come in and adopt the same policies, if you don't come in immediately and say, all right, when I come in, I'm going to change all of this and do the exact opposite of what Mayorkas has done, guess what we have waiting for you? See, that's what they need to do. They need to say, we will tie y'all up with impeachments until the cows come home, period. But I don't know if they got the gut to do it, man. So anyway, now we're back on Mayorkas. And guys, not only does Mayorkas slap Border Patrol in the face with this garbage and slap American citizens in the face with allowing these people to come here unimpeded, but look what else this guy does. This right here made me want to jump all up out of my skin.
Mayorkas is warning Border Patrol agents not to misgender illegal immigrants. Yes, you heard that right. So as we watch massive crowds of migrants cross our southern border under President Biden's watch, it appears the White House is prioritizing pronouns. New DHS orders obtained by the Heritage Foundation instruct agents to, quote, ask individuals about their preferred pronouns. They suggest asking, quote, I would like to be respectful. What name and pronoun would you like me to use addressing you? Or ask, can you...
Dun, 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 dun. Can you believe that? Can you believe this? Could you believe this complete bullshiggity? This is 100% shite. Let's be kind to the criminals. Easy. Welcome to America. Now, what's your name? It doesn't matter. We can't verify it's you or not anyway. It doesn't matter. We don't care about your name, but we do care about your pronouns. We don't care about your background. We care about your pronouns. That's what we care about. You could be 100% a criminal, murderer, drug dealer, rapist, whatever. It doesn't matter to us. What matters to us is your pronouns. We wouldn't want to offend you. Now, you didn't get scratched by the slinkies or nothing, did you? Just make sure of that, okay? All right, we want to make sure you get here safely and you're fine. Where would you like to go? Okay. Now, what is it? Him, her, she, him, it, what? Up, down, -357, / semicolon. What do you want to be called? Okay. All right. So semicolon / is the person's pronoun. Good. Write that down. Don't mess it up, okay? We want to make sure these people feel welcomed. Go on over to semicolon is it backslash? It is backslash, colon, backslash. Sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. Go ahead into our country. This makes me want to stop the Biden administration, metaphorically. This is crazy, man. This is more insult to injury. This right here, it shows what their priorities are. Oh, God.
Can you please confirm your pronouns or gender identity? The memo also tells agents not to use pronouns like he and she and Mr. and ma'am until they are sure of how that person would like to be addressed.
Yeah, listen. We fucked up.
Yeah. Every single Biden voter needs to be saying that right now. I mean, can you imagine this? We got folks sleeping on the street in America. I mean, folks broke, homeless. We got veterans. We got crime. We got all of that. And we got these dummies up here talking about something. I'll be very careful and sensitive to their pronouns. We want to make sure that we don't offend them. And man, oh boy, I'm telling you, man. I got crazy thoughts going through my head right about now when it comes down to this administration. Wow thoughts. Hey, we got 362 people watching. Welcome to the show, everybody. Yeah, I hope the number continues to grow every single night because you know where to find me. There's no excuse not to meet me here at 7 o'clock every night. Spread the word. Be there or be square. But yeah, man, can you believe this crap? Oh, God. Let's see what's happening, though. How it's filtering down.
Texas remains defiant against the Supreme Court's recent ruling on the southern border, and it looks like they're about to get some help from America's own freedom convoy. That's right.
We do want to talk about the Supreme Court decision that came.
That's right, BJ and the Bear. All of them are coming, rolling down to Dallas. My feet beneath my palace. That's right, BJ and the Bear's on the way. Let's continue.
Came down just a few days ago, giving legal authority to Border Patrol to cut the wire here in Shelby Park. As of right now, no wire has been cut. That's because the Texas National Guard still has control of Shelby Park, and Border Patrol is not allowed into the park to cut that wire. Now, we did talk to officials how the Supreme Court ruling will actually affect how Texas is defending the border. Take a listen.
We still are going to restrict the access here at Shelby Park.
Right on, brother.
We're still going to add additional infrastructure along the river. That's what National Guard is doing right now. Currently, they're adding additional barriers to that concertina wire, making those areas more reinforced so that we can prevent and discourage any illegal border crossings.
That's right. Reinforce those slinkies, brother. Reinforce those slinkies. So now we got Border Patrol. We got us a standoff, a good old-fashioned standoff, y'all. Oh, man. Remember that Alamo. Wow. So what is the Biden administration going to do? Are they going to try to call rank over the National Guard, the Texas National Guard? Are they going to try to federalize them? This is going to be an interesting standoff right here with the support of other U.S. states. This is one of them things that could fall into a civil war crisis type thing right here. See, these are the things that starts those type of civil wars where you're going, man, look, our whole state supports this. And I guarantee you almost every Texan, with the exception of probably, some liberals down there, but majority of Texans are probably going, darn right, I support my governor. He by taking a stance, and this is what conservative governors need to realize, by showing testes and taking stances against this kind of crap, the people love you. I know they try to make it seem like, oh, you're going to be demonized and you're going to be looked at as whatever. Your people will say that's what made Ron DeSantis famous and popular in his state, because he stood up against some stupidity. And if the rest of these governors would take that type of stance, at some point, the Democrats will realize we can only go so far with our nonsense unless we're willing to risk a whole full-blown civil war. And in that case, that's not good either. For the simple fact, conservative states are the most productive. We are able to make stuff. We feed the rest of the country. All of the stuff that you would need to be equipped to fight a civil war, conservative states have. Now, I'm not saying that I don't want that to happen. Before that happened, I would hope that all of the conservative states that got some common sense would say, how about we just divorce? How about we just divorce? Y'all can keep your 81,000 IRS with weapons. Y'all can keep your, we're going to censor people on the internet and hate speech and transgender and rights and pronouns. And if y'all take the California out west and stuff, y'all take that part, Y'all can let illegals come in until you're blue in the face. When you get to the line, that's where it stops. Yeah, that's where you got real patrol right there. When you get down to the common sense part of the country, of the continent, that's where we saying, okay, what's your business here? I'm a liberal and I want to see my grandfather. All right, you're not bringing liberalism, are you? All right, you keep the nonsense over there. How long is your stay? That's what we want to know. Are you smuggling any illegal immigrants into our state? Okay, we don't want that. That's what it might come down to. And watch them implode. Watch them be like, well, wait, who's going to pay for the welfare state that we've created with all these illegal immigrants? What? No, I thought money grows on trees. That's what they were telling us. Okay, well, wait a minute. Who's going to pick our fruits and stuff? Wait a minute. Who's going to build stuff? Yeah, my plumbing's broken. How do I fix it again? Well, who's planting and growing all the fruits? What, the farmers are all in liberal, conservative states? Wait a minute. Maybe they might get it. But hey, who knows?
And you're looking at the Rio Grande, where the water authority is actually raising the level. Controls of the Amistad Dam up the river, releasing more water due to heavy recent rain. Just a reminder for those migrants crossing, they're still making that trek over a dangerous current in that river. The question remains, if Border Patrol needs to come in, cut the wire, will Texas National...
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I hope Texas holds the line. Because this is nonsense, man. Somebody at some point has to take a stand against this. We already, with Mayorkas in charge, probably are looking at somewhere between 12 to 15 million people by the time Biden gets out. Just under their 3.5, 4 years. That's not including probably the 30 so million that's been trickling in for the last 20 or 30 years. So, you're almost left with no choice. And I can't believe the Supreme Court, man, put Abbott in this position. But guess what, y'all? Some hypocrisy is on display. It appears that now that all of these illegal immigrants have started to filter into SO-ran Democrat cities, guess what they trying to do, y'all? They trying to shut their borders. Oh, let's see.
Well, Ben and Lourdes, as you know, mayors past and present have referred to Chicago as a sanctuary city for immigrants. But today, amendments to the city's welcoming city ordinance, taking legal protections a step further, instituting policies to protect the due process rights of Chicago's immigrants.
That's right. Give them some rights. Give them some cell phones, some places to stay. All that. We're going to protect your rights, your due processes, and your pronouns too. We're going to protect all that when it was all fun and games until.
Now, this was all well and good until the governor of Texas started busing and flying migrants to the city of Chicago.
Leaders from the city of Chicago are asking for help after another busload of migrants was sent there from Texas. They say so far this week, more than 60 busloads have made it to the Windy City. Officials there opening new shelters every week, but they say it's still not enough.
This comes tonight as Chicago declares a state of emergency over the migrant crisis.
In fact, new arrivals coming late tonight as the mayor says more money is needed to handle the growing problem.
The city of Chicago being a sanctuary city. Sanctuary from what? They were sanctuary from the federal government deporting them.
So wait a minute. So they're defying federal law. There it is. We're not going to obey federal law. We're not going to let you guys come into our cities and states and take our precious illegal immigrants from us. Oh, okay, no problem. We'll give them all to you. See, that's when it all changed. You don't want us coming in and doing that? Sure, we'll give them all to you then, if that's the case. So now that they've given them all to them because they're a sanctuary city protecting their due processes and their rights and stuff like that, let's see how that
So people then took them up on that offer of being a sanctuary city, and they had to declare a state of emergency because they didn't have enough money to take care of all the migrants that were coming. Now, the sanctuary city didn't really have any room for all these extra migrants.
Wow! A fiesta! A fiesta right there outside of the Chicago Police Department, the Shitetown Police Department. Look at that, guys. They got couches out there. Oh, Guantanamera. Yeah. Guantanamera. They got couches. They got, looks like beds and stuff. That was during the summer, though. That's during the summer. See, somebody said, a better life.
Migrants and didn't have the money to take care of them. So migrants slept out on the street in tents and in police stations because there wasn't any room. So because Texas was busing migrants from the border to Chicago, Chicago decided to close its own border by making it very, very difficult for buses to drop off migrants.
Wait a minute. I love when you give them a taste of their own medicine. How you like those crab apples? That's what I want to know. How do you like those big, fat, green apples? So now they want to shut down their borders? They're like, shut the door, keep out the illegals. Shut the door, keep illegals in the night. So they shutting the door on the illegals? Wait a minute.
So they passed a whole bunch of laws to essentially penalize the bus companies for bringing migrants into Chicago.
Last month, City Council passed an ordinance aimed at discouraging these so-called rogue buses from dropping off migrants unannounced. The ordinance itself requires that the bus companies provide advance notice to the city when they plan to drop off passengers. The city, in turn, requires that the migrants be dropped off at the city's landing zone. Since the ordinance took effect, the city has filed 95 lawsuits against more than 24 bus companies it alleges has failed to comply. 2 buses have been impounded. One of them was an affiliate of Wind Transportation, which is now suing the city.
Sue they butts. So now, instead of encouraging more and more illegal immigrants because they only add to America and our economy, and I mean, don't Mayor Conehead need his pools and stuff cleaned and all of that fruit, I guess, that they grow in Chicago needs to be picked. Oh, wait, they don't grow a lot of fruit in Chicago? No? Oh, okay. Well, I guess then, what are they going to do there? Besides sleep in police stations and take up hotel spaces and tents and stuff like that and eventually turn into crime-riddled environments. What else are they going to do there? See, so now they've created a problem and they want their borders shut by stopping these buses from bringing more precious illegal immigrants to them for due process. Because, see, remember, there you got to protect their due process rights and their pronouns and stuff.
No, the sanctuary city of Chicago doesn't want to give sanctuary to migrants. They're actually doing everything they can to...
You see that dude right there? Look like he riding a motorcycle. Full speed, hair blowing back like that. Cut that mess off your head, Conehead.
Close their border and to keep migrants out. And
no, you can't shut your border because once somebody is in our city or country rather and has been given permission to travel, you can't impede their travel. Now, you can't do that. You can't discriminate against them because, see, the Biden administration gave them right to be in the country. Now you can't say, well, you can't go state to state. Now you can't do that. But see, Chicago's trying to do that. See, a lot of people don't know that. You don't even really need a driver's license. I got a cousin right now. He never had a driver's license. He just pulled over there. Why don't you have a driver's license? Well, because the law says you can't impede my ability to travel about. Okay. And they go, oh, wow. How'd you know that? Well, because I studied some law. And so, well, darn it. Okay. You got to steer. All right. See, now I wouldn't advise anybody to be riding around without a driver's license, but there are situations where you can say, hey, look, I can roll without a driver's license and you can't stop me because you can't impede my ability to go back and forth and travel. So, yeah, these people right here should be able to travel all over the place now that they've been allowed in the country. So they're willfully wanting to come to Shitetown and willing to come to Shitetown, but now they want to shut their borders.
And you can see this in polls now where the majority of Chicagoans want the city to end this sanctuary city designation.
Right.
Here are the polls.
As more buses carrying migrants arrive every day, Chicago's designation as a sanctuary city is waning among likely voters, according to a new poll conducted by M3 Strategies.
A majority of Chicagoans prefer to end sanctuary city versus keep it.
Pollster Matt Podorsky says 46% of those polled said no more sanctuary city, 39% said Chicago should remain one, and 14% were unsure.
So I would love to interview the dummies. There's like, I'm unsure. Well, how about you just go down there and look at the streets? Go to the police station. Yeah. And then, of course, the 39% that I can't even imagine what's going on in their brain. But nonetheless, the majority is saying, nope. So wait, I'm sure democracy is about to win out, right? Democracy. Don't forget that.
Chicago residents were polled all over the city.
So, with the polls leaning against staying a sanctuary city, some of the politicians said, hey, let's put it to a vote. Let the people decide if they want to keep Chicago a sanctuary city. But the city council said no. They do not want to ask the people because they're afraid of what the result may be.
So wait, not only are they closing their borders to all these precious illegal immigrants that just want sanctuary, but now they don't believe in democracy. Unbelievable. So they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. They don't want to shut down the sanctuary city, title and status because, see, that's a virtue signaling thing. If they do that, then that means they had to tap out and admit that this was stupid. And it should apply to every other stupid city and state that adopted this policy. It will expose this crap that the Democrats have implemented trying to protect their illegal immigrants from being deported. It would expose it. See, so they can't do that, but they also don't want more of them coming. I would feel rejected. They might as well just put barbed wire up at the state line or something. Maybe they might even put a slinky or two up to keep these precious illegal immigrants out.
While asylum seekers continue to come to Chicago from Texas in a move seen by some as an effort to embarrass or overburden sanctuary cities like Chicago, the fight to let voters weigh in on the sanctuary policy was shut down today.
Repealing the ordinance will do nothing to stop the buses.
During a special city council meeting to put a non-binding referendum on the ballot in March, the mayor and his allies used a procedural move to prevent a vote on the referendum itself.
It is a shame that you all are scared. What are you scared of to let the people have a voice?
Now, the situation has gotten so bad that the mayor of Chicago has started having panic attacks and had to be hospitalized.
You telling me Conehead is down? Conehead is in there. I can't breathe. I'm down. Send Conehead to the hospital. Easy, breathe. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I mean, the money is good and all of that stuff, but it's too much pressure. When you're crying, and too much pressure. Too much pressure. So Conehead is under the pressure and had to go to the hospital. Oh, man. Good. You brought it on yourself.
Here is what the reporter said happened.
As we sit here and tape this, it's getting cold and snowy in Chicago, and Brandon Johnson has got his hands full to deal with that. But you've seen it. You have seen people, your community starting.
Know about antidepressants can cure him of this problem.
No.
He's antidepressants.
Oh, I know it. It's so true. And actually, you brought it up. I was going to bring it up, and I thought,
panic attacks. The mayor's panic attacks? Oh, can we talk about that?
Yeah, can we talk about that?
And see, I'm going to tell you right now, I get it. As a leader, you could be under some pressure. You got to be able to think and solve problems constantly. When I was a principal, it was constant bombardment. Mr. Kevin, they fighting down the hall, and somebody poured a fire alarm. Multiple issues, and I'm sitting there processing immediately. All right, you do this, you do that. I'm going here, handle this. I got it. I'm going to break this. You have to be able to jump in and problem solve. And this was on a daily level. This guy right here has created his problems. This man could solve these problems by saying, yeah, let's go ahead and vote. We're not going to be a sanctuary city. We're not going to support these bad policies that comes out of the Biden administration. And this way, Abbott won't feel like he needs to send them there because we're the ones that saying, well, we still want to retain our sanctuary city status. So when Abbott greets these people and say, well, where do you want to go? Because, see, we're not a sanctuary city or state. Here's some list of some of them right here. We got Chicago, Shitetown. We got New York, the Big Crapple. We got Los Angeles. We got all of these places. Where would you like to go? Chicago. Okay. There's a Chicago bus over there. There's the New York bus over there. Adios, amigos and amigas. But yeah, he wants to hang on to that sanctuary city. So he wants these panic attacks. He wants these problems.
Because two sources told me that he has been in the hospital for these panic attacks, and he is stressed out because this is a big job for him.
He wasn't ready for it.
He wasn't ready.
He is not ready for it. He's not a leader. I'm sorry. He's just not a leader.
Conehead ain't built tough for this.
A leader, brings people up and supports them. And
a leader does the right thing and stops blaming Abbott for all the problems. See, so this guy, I mean, if I had to deal with that on just one school, imagine this guy. They're probably like Mayor Conehead. They're fighting down there in the police station. Mayor Conehead, there's people over here. There's a whole building right here. They're sick. They're infected. There's an outbreak here. Mayor Conehead, you know what? These people are freezing. Mayor Conehead, we got this going on over here. Mayor Conehead, a bus just got dropped. Mayor Conehead, where are we going to put all these people? And he brought it on himself. You think the Biden administration cares about his stress? Hush up, boy. That's what they said to him. Hush up, boy. Handle it.
Chicago police are still waiting to see where that comes from. But yeah, he put in a good superintendent, but I still think that he needs to prove himself to the police. You know, where does he stand on that? But this immigration issue, boy, this is not helping him at all, this situation.
You're probably shaking.
And, you know, when you call yourself a sanctuary city, you call yourself a sanctuary state, guess what's going to happen? Don't blame Texas.
No, don't blame Texas.
If you look at what they're dealing with, they have a massive influence. You see, we don't even show the videos on television. The amount of people that are just standing around, you know, and now they're desperate because what happens when people don't have money or they don't have food? They start breaking into things. They start committing crimes. They start working for the cartels. They start doing human trafficking. They start becoming victims.
Yep. That's what's happening. And it's going to happen because they don't know what to do with these people. There's no fruit to pick in Chicago, guys. What are you going to do with them? You only got so many hotels you can have cleaned because, see, that's the jobs they want these people to take. They want them to take all of these low-level jobs, but now what about the leftovers? Not to mention the thousands of babies that are being born since this all started. Thousands of them. So now Mayor Conehead is somewhere shaking like Ace Ventura when he got shot in his legs with those spears. Yeah, having a nervous breakdown. He got the shakes somewhere, and he brought it on himself. He's not built for this.
Of human trafficking. So they had to do, what are they going to do with all these people? They had to get them out of their city. And, well, sanctuary city, you're the welcoming city, so you're going to get what you asked for, or what you said you were.
So now, the mayor has passed laws to stop the buses from coming in. He's impounded buses. What? They're arresting drivers. They're literally doing everything they can to stop migrants from coming into the sanctuary city. So the bus companies now have fired back. They said enough is enough.
Oh, yeah. Get on the bus, Gus. Oh, y'all hear that? The double Dutch bus is on the street, moving pretty fast. You gotta shuffle your feet. The immigration bus is on the street. Yeah. So the immigration bus. Ransom with immigrants. Got to be a million. Playing the double Dutch. Yeah. So now we got the double Dutch bus on the way. Let's see what happens.
Everything that the mayor's doing is not only illegal, but unconstitutional. Now, the bus company's lawsuit is pretty simple.
What?
It says that the city of Chicago overstepped by regulating immigration, regulating interstate commerce, and violated the equal rights and due process of the company and the migrants on the buses. Now, just to make it very simple, what the bus companies are saying is that, one, the city of Chicago does not have the authority to regulate interstate commerce or who comes in and out of Chicago.
Bam! Oh, man, yo. The double Dutch bus is on the street, moving pretty fast. You gotta shuffle your feet. Get on the bus, pay your fare, and tell the driver that you're going to a double Dutch affair. Feet, 5, 4, fun, I'll be darned. Here it comes. The double Dutch bus is on the street. You gotta get off the curb, move your feet. That's what I'm talking about. Get off the curb, Conehead. Okay, move your feet because the buses is on the way. Drop them folks off. Can't be telling them buses where they can go and where they can't go. This is America, man. Trying to shut down your borders. Who you think you is, Mr. Big Stuff?
This is a free country. And the people who do regulate that is the federal government, not the city of Chicago.
That's
right. And then number two is the regulations that we heard about earlier only apply to buses that have migrants on them.
Now they're discriminating.
Protection violation. Why not apply to all buses? If you're specifically picking out buses that have migrants or could potentially have migrants, that violates the equal protection.
And that's crazy. Like Tracy Moore. And that's crazy. You know what that is? That's racism. That right there is discrimination. Why are you singling out these buses? Only with migrants, Conehead. Oh, I wonder if MSNBC is going to talk about that racist act right there from Conehead. That act of discrimination. Because it's not just Conehead, it's Peanut Head too, up there in New York. They're all trying to do this. They're all trying to shut their borders, and I wonder why. They don't want the national borders to be shut. Yeah, they want their city borders to be shut. But that's funny because, see, back in the day, that was called xenophobia. That was called racist. That was called anti-immigrants. You're anti-immigration. Unbelievable.
To the United States, where everyone traveling through the United States, citizen or not, can travel freely. Yeah. So by only targeting buses with migrants,
you're racist.
You are violating the U.S. Constitution. Here is their lawyer laying it out for you.
It's unconstitutional for a number of reasons. So, number one, what this ordinance does is it's really trying to address an immigration issue, right? And that's what we're seeing with the suburban ordinances as well. And when we're talking about immigration, that's a federal issue.
Mike Kozlowski is a Chicago-based attorney representing WIN. He also represents the bus companies who've been fined by the city. He told NBC5 Investigates Chicago's ordinance unfairly restricts business practices and targets only those carrying migrants, not other groups of people, which he says violates both the due process and equal protection clauses of the...
Wait a minute! Remember the due process in the beginning of the segment? They have to have due process. And check and make sure all of their pronouns and stuff is right in their but now all of a sudden they don't want these buses coming. Isn't that ironic? Now we don't want the buses coming. They might be filled with illegal immigrants. Gives me the willies thinking about it. As Conehead tries to shut down his borders and prevent these precious illegal immigrants from traveling where they want to go.
14th Amendment. The city's efforts, from what we can read, are simply to sort of mitigate that, right? To slow down the fire hydrant of people coming.
But why?
You could appreciate that, right?
I can appreciate that there are a lot of different voices in this debate, no question. But at the end of the day, the city has to operate within the confines of the law and within the confines of the Constitution.
Now think about the irony here, that the Sanctuary of City of Chicago has passed laws to effectively stop migrants from coming in and has to be sued because they're violating the Constitution. Now, this case is important because Chicago's not the only city doing this.
They're not.
There are a whole bunch of cities who have now passed these anti-migrant ordinances
to
stop migrants from coming into the city.
Because we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We don't want to be like Governor Abbott down there with all of his xenophobia and his racism and his politicization of this situation. We don't want to be like that, do we? Huh? We're a sanctuary city. Abbott's not one. He's not a sanctuary state. He's not the one out there with the bullhorn telling everybody to come. No, it's you guys. But now all of a sudden, you want to shut down your little borders. Just like all of them will shut down their houses, their neighborhoods when it comes down to these illegal immigrants. You think they will welcome them into their own sector? No. They would do exactly what they're trying to do to the city. When it becomes a pain in the butt to them, that's when stuff gets real. And that's when they start waking up talking about this is just a crisis. We need to shut this down. Close the borders. Oh, not the national ones, just the ones here. Okay. Unbelievable. Instead of coming out and confessing that, hey, you know what? I supported a regime that caused this problem, not only down at the southern border, but the problem now has come to my doorstep. And instead of misplacing the blame and targeting Abbott, targeting the bus stations, I should target the Biden administration, not the bus
York has done it, for instance, and even the surrounding counties of both in Chicago and in New York. Check out this clip.
Migrant crisis, and for the first time, the mayors of our biggest cities are doing something about an issue that has been argued about in this country for decades.
New York Mayor Adams and other mayors now ordering new laws to help deal with an out-of-control asylum seeker crisis. The crisis paid for by local taxpayers, a crisis with no solutions from either political party.
Comes on the heels of discussions between the United States and Mexico to stem the flow of migrants. Darla Miles is here digging deeper. Darla.
Michelle and Bill, we are now more than 24 hours into a very short grace period issued by the city for these charter bus companies to get organized to comply with the executive order issued by Mayor Adams. He and his counterparts in other sanctuary cities say the new requirements for buses will bring order to the chaos, and anyone in violation when this grace period expires will essentially be breaking the law.
Now, in a shocking move, People don't realize New York City actually buses migrants to other places.
Oh, gotta be kidding me. Some more hypocrisy. If I was Abbott, you know what I would do? I would put one American citizen on that bus. Each one of those buses would have 200 illegal immigrants and one American citizen. Hey, you can't stop this bus. Transporting this one guy right here to this city, okay? Where are you from? I'm from Texas. But listen, as soon as I get off, I got a bus ticket to come right back, okay? So, I would pull that bus up in there, drop all those people off. That guy get off, here's my ticket to get back on the bus, go back to Texas. Just want to ride up and turn around. Be like, oh, these guys. So wait, you're telling me, why? Look at all of these. They don't look like they're all from Mexico. They might be the darkest Latinos I've ever seen. How did they somehow get all the way from Africa, Jamaica, Haiti, and probably other countries over there? How'd they get here? How'd they get here? Fleeing climate change and political violence and religious persecution. How'd they get here? This is ridiculous, man.
When they come. So, for instance, here in the BBC is reporting, surprise, in Canada as NYC buses migrants to the border. So they come over the Texas border, get sent to New York, and then New York buses them to Canada, right? So this is not about what actually works. This is about these sanctuary cities trying to keep the moral high ground. We're sanctuary cities, but when it really comes down to it, they are just like the governor of Texas. You have too many migrants, and what do? You ship them out. And now that they're passing their own personal immigration laws to kind of stop migrants from coming into their cities, so they don't have to bust them out, it's the height of hypocrisy.
It sure is. Their own little immigration laws. Wow. Can you believe that, guys? This is what the Democrats are about. And it's unbelievable. So there you have it. Had to expose their hypocrisy, their little strategy, their game plan, and their ability to cope with this, because all it does is exposes their corruption and their involvement and contribution to this problem. They are the sum total of their own policies and choices. That's what they are. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Hopefully this will resolve itself peacefully down there in Texas. Hopefully Mayorkas and all of them will say, okay, we give up, you win, put up the slinkies. I mean, all they're asking for, now you know it's bad, when all you want is some barbed wire, and they don't even want that. They want nothing to even be a visual deterrent for these people. They want these people to feel like they are part of America. Because here you are coming and you don't see nothing in your way. That makes you feel like it's open. Man, these people suck. They suck, man. And if we don't get them out of power, we're done. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks for hanging out with me. Don't forget to send MAGA, text MAGA to 330-974-4607. And of course, if you get a chance, you can support my channel by supporting my link for my fundraiser. It's right below this video, and sharing my videos. Anything. All this stuff is supporting my channel. Oh, thank you so much. The kind words, the words of encouragement actually makes me say, that's right. I can feel it. The power, the support coming from all of us. Just like I'm sure Abbott feels the same way when all of these other states say, we with you, Abbott. And the people say, we with you, because I'm with you. I'm telling you right now. I mean, do they need a volunteer? I'll jump in the man truck right now. Do my show on the road, which I might be doing anyway. I might have to take a trip all the way down to Florida. I think I'm going to drive down, so I might be doing my show on the road, y'all. On the road again. Get down there and maybe do some interviewing with some people. How do you feel about that? The Biden administration sucks. Thank you very much. Next. And all that stuff. So we'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. It's Friday. So we'll go ahead and have a little fun and go into the weekend. Hopefully refresh. Check out my alternative channel. Stop and think about it. Follow me on Rumble. And make sure you revisit the channel. Make sure you're still subscribed, so this way you'll get notifications. But make sure you revisit the channel for standalone uploads. All right. So God bless y'all. We'll see y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Texas. Good job. Yeah. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care. Whoa, 415 people? Yeah, sweet. God bless.